Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you are all doing great. Give me a thumbs up if you could hear me well. I'm not I accidentally stepped on my on my headset, so I just want to make sure that it works. So give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me. That would be great. I don't know. I didn't realize it wasn't the floor, and I just walked, and I was like, oh no. I literally just I dropped and I didn't realize. So thank you. Lorna gave me a thumbs up. So that means yes, it is working. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's one of those crazy accident things. You're like, oh no, I cannot lose this headset right now. But anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you are doing great. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Lorna. Hello, Joan, who was the first one here. How are you all doing? Hopefully some of our other friends join us at some point. Maybe, maybe not. Yes, I know this is one of my, again, very impromptu podcasts, shall we say? And welcome to all of the other of our other listeners or viewers who are watching, but not necessarily in the chat. Welcome, you guys. My goodness. Oh my word. I'm telling you, I am so proud of Prince Harry. He is amazing. Yesterday we were talking and celebrating Travelist being a part of Condé Nast Travelers Bright Ideas in Travel for 2024. And we're all celebrating that yesterday. Yesterday's podcast. We're all celebrating Spare again. We're just like rewinding the clock to 2023. But now here we are in almost the middle of November 2024, and we're still talking about Spare. It is number one. The obviously in last month the paperback version came out, and it is number one in the UK. I haven't checked what it is in the US, but I definitely know it's number one in the UK, much to the chagrin of those nasty writers in the UK who have all been putting out books and hoping somebody cares, and nobody has cared, including that rugby person in the royal family who shall be remain nameless because we're not going to promote their stuff. And all of them are wishing, again, Prince Harry has done no promotions at all in any sense of the word. Nobody said a word. And here it is sitting at number one. I'm telling you, Prince Harry is king in everything. So we're celebrating that yesterday. And then, oh my goodness, here we are today. Another huge honor for Prince Harry. And I am so excited. I'm just going to move my banner from down here. Again, if you are on here and you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you know when you drop a video. And please like and share the video and join the channel if you're able. That would be awesome. So I'm going to move my banner so I can read this whole thing properly. I am so excited about Prince Harry. Time 100 Climate, the most influential leaders driving business to real climate action. To which I ask, didn't the other brother have that thing with a bunch of celebrities? Like, never mind. Moving on. I'm like, what happened to never mind again. Moving on to this. Prince Harry Travelist is Time 100 of most influential leaders in the area of climate. And I love how they put driving business to real climate action, not some fake stuff with a bunch of celebrities, but real climate action, people doing stuff. And Prince Harry is that actively involved. And as the founder of Travelist, changing travel. And just, it's amazing. I'm so proud of Prince Harry. So this is what they wrote about Prince Harry. It says the Duke of Sussex support conservation groups in Africa. It says he really became a conservationist during a trip in 2012 to the Caribbean when a 7-year-old boy told him that England's environmental impact was damaging the coral reef, which it is. After that interaction, he was inspired to start Travelist, Travel and Catalyst, a non-for-profit that provides people booking travel with emissions and other sustainability data so that they can consider the lowest impact options. The aim is to help make a dent in the industry's carbon footprint. Tourism makes up about 11% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Travelist worked with Google to create the Travel Impact Model, a free, publicly available methodology launched in 2022 that predicts per passenger CO2 emission produced by upcoming flights. Travelist coalition of partners representing a combined market value of $3 trillion include top tech companies used by tourists like Booking.com, Expedia Group, MasterCard, Skyscanner, TripAdvisor, and Visa. On September 12th, Travelist announced that its flight emission data has appeared in 65 billion searches worldwide. I'm telling you, this is amazing. Prince Harry has stressed that sustainable travel also means travel that boosts local economies and support tourism businesses that hire local talent. He summed up Travelist's mission as at its fifth anniversary celebration on September 24th during Climate Week in New York when they were here. And this is what he said. He says, as I sought solution to some of the world's most pressing conservation challenges, I quickly realized just how profound an impact the travel and tourism industry has. Together, we are proving that travel can be a force for good. So let's continue this journey together and make sure that travel benefits everyone everywhere. And so obviously, we remember Prince Harry was just in New York and Travelers had a big to do there as well. So congratulations, Prince Harry. I'm telling you, it's just the man is everywhere doing amazing things. Prince Harry is just home minding his business and time came knocking. Can we honor you with this? Because you're just doing amazing. I can only imagine the other brother thinking, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just went all the way to South. Anything about my mess, but I had highly cream. I just like, oh my goodness. So I just literally went to Google search this on because I wanted to see what the UK press, because I got curious. I'm like, I wonder how they're reporting this because they're gonna attack like, oh, Harry's a climate hypocrite and all that nonsense. It's coming. But nobody has touched it because I figure people are probably trying to be like, okay, how do we, we just were reporting about the other brother in South Africa with Heidi Klum who dragged poor Heidi. It's like, wait a minute, maybe I went to the wrong brother's event. I could have just stayed in the US. But it's just, I mean, how do you explain that? How do you explain one brother going all the way to South Africa, dragging celebrities along with him, and nobody considered him as one of the 100 most influential people? Hello. Just like, okay, I am very petty, and this is me just leaning into my petty right now. Okay, so just leave me alone. I'm gonna get it out of my system. Well, no, I don't really want to get it out of my system. I kind of just want to stay petty all day today. So yeah, forget about getting it out of my system. I'm going to just be petty. I was just like, oh my gosh. But all in all, I am so very happy and so proud of Prince Harry. My goodness. I hope he is smiling wherever he is, just smiling about this and just look at what he has created. And I remember so well how the British press tried to destroy this company, how they tried to destroy it in every way, using the other brother who went to South Africa. I wonder how much carbon emission that plane that he took that leaked out into the atmosphere. Just saying. But anyways, kudos to Prince Harry. Kudos for him just staying in there. And look, everybody's talking about Travelist now. It's amazing. And so Travelist, and I finally found where Travelist actually do stuff, because I'm like, wait a minute. You have a X account that you don't use, post anything. You have an Instagram account that you don't post anything. I don't think they've ever even used the account. finally, I was like, where are people getting this travel? And I finally realized, I'm like, oh, you're on LinkedIn. So I promptly went and followed. Finally figured out where travelers that post their stuff. So they're on LinkedIn. And so that's where I found them. And so they posted this today. It says, we are very proud to share that our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has been included in the 2024 Time 100 climate list. The Duke has been recognized as a titan. That's right, he's a titan for his contribution to sustainable tourism through his work with Travelist. And basically echoing what he said before, as I sought solution to some of the world's pressing conservation challenges, I quickly realized just how profound an impact the travel and tourism industry has. Together, we are proving that travel can be a force for good. And I actually love this photo of Prince Harry. This was him. I think this was when he was in South Africa, or yeah, I think this was when, because that was when he just did his trip recently in Southern Africa. I think this was when he got to South Africa. They did this photo. I love this photo. So yes. So congratulations, Prince Harry again. Oh my goodness. So proud of this man. He is just doing good. You just keep growing, Prince Harry. Just keep growing. And just in case you're wondering, how they kind of came about, because, people are going to be like, how did they come up with this 100 list? Why is the other brother there? Because he does not deserve to be there, but I digress. Anyway, so there's a little bit how they came up with their change makers. It says, to identify this year's change makers, Times editors spent months vetting names across the economy. We valued measurable, scalable achievements over commitments and announcements. That's right. We value measurable, scalable achievements over commitments and announcements. Note to William. We favored more recent actions. The result of our second annual Time 100 climate list, which represents multitudes of individuals making significant progress in influencing the business and climate change. We asked them to talk about it, hoping their words will stir others to do the same. So that's how they came up with their list. So again, huge congratulations to Prince Harry. And not only that, Travelist, they're doing more things. They're actually going to be a part of COP29, which is coming up in Azerbaijan. And that is going to be coming up actually in a week, on the 20th of November. And again, I have very mixed feelings about these COP things, where a bunch of these, environmentalists tend to show up in private jets. And you're like, okay. And then they preach to the world about, don't you getting your carbon emissions out there. Yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy around all this stuff. But climate change, COP29 is going to be coming up in about a week, and it's going to be in Azerbaijan. Apparently the royal family are not going to be there. They're going to be a guest at the next one, probably. They're not going to be there, but it's going to be in Azerbaijan. And the last time I think I heard about Azerbaijan and the royal family, wasn't King Charles taking some funny money from the leaders of Azerbaijan? And then there were these papers, like the Paradise Papers. There was another set of papers that came out like a year ago, 2 years ago, where the leaders and his family from Azerbaijan purchased some property from the royals. Some property, I think they're from the royals, and they got it at they had these properties that was in the UK, and then the royals they basically sold the property to the royals, or at least the the sovereign grant people, whatever it is that owns that whole thing. Whatever it is that owns the property that gives the royal family the sovereign grant. I can't think of it at this second. It's just stuff that's popping in my head. But anyway, so this family from Azerbaijan, the leaders of Azerbaijan, they sold this property, this British property that they probably illegally bought, because they're thinking that they bought it with funny money. And so when they sold it to the royals. They sold it at such a profit that they earned like about 20 something million pounds or something like that. So there was that whole big debacle a few years ago. I talked about it on here, and I can't remember the whole thing because it was a little bit of a while ago. I have to go back to the whole thing. So that's the last time I heard about the royals and Azerbaijan. But apparently they're not going. So when I saw that, I was like, maybe that's probably why. And I could be wrong, but also didn't King Charles take some funny money from them as well or something like that? I have to go back because there's so many issues with King Charles taking money from not that he is, any better, but it's very interesting that all the people that he takes these money from, even though the man is worth over 600 and something million pounds, he's always taking money from these people. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Back to COP29. So Travelist is going to be there, and they are going to be taking part in this. At the bottom left there, it says high-level roundtable raising climate ambition of tourism sector, obviously, because that's what Travelist is about, from commitments to implementation, measurement, and decarbonization. And Sally Davy, that's her there, she is the CEO of Travelist, and she is going to be part of that panel discussion. It's going to be taking place on the 20th of November. So Travelist, they are really in there. They are just, I'm so happy for them. A lot of the tourism stuff, and I don't even understand a lot of that stuff, but it's very, very cool that they are going to be there and they are doing their thing. So congratulations, and that's obviously the only thing with Travelers. I'm like, can y'all do something with that logo, please? I'm like, that logo it's not doing anything for me. And of course, this is purely selfish of me because I'm like, I keep looking at their logo. I'm like, what is that? What is it even? What is that exactly? Am I the only one that's not even sure what that thing is? So that the half circle thingy or circular thing is. I don't really understand what it is. And maybe if you guys do, you can let me know. But I'm like, that logo is I'm just not feeling it. So please do something with that logo. Let it say something. Maybe it means something to others, and I'm the one that's just not getting it, but it's just not doing anything for me. So that's me on Travelist. That's my only down. Everything else is an up. Joy says it looks like maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Okay, there you go. Maybe and maybe the circle is like the world is a circle, so it keeps going around. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm like, can y'all come up with just make it look a little bit more like it's doing something, or I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. But again, that's just me. But anyways, what else is happening apart from our wonderful news? I don't know what's up with Meghan. I'm sure she's under her tree working on Aro or whatever else she's doing. There's a movie, there's also podcasts and all the other stuff. Meghan loves working in private, so we'll just leave her under her tree doing her stuff. And so, yeah, very, very cool. Very, very proud of them doing whatever it is they're doing. And so we're going to move away from the wonderful news and jump over to Shutter Island and all its mess for a minute. As you probably have heard by now, Archbishop Justin Welby has quit, basically. He has, as usual with the British churches, not even just British. You see the stuff in America too. I shouldn't just say British because it's kind of like with the whether it's Catholic or Anglican or whatever it is, you always have this mess. And so, of course, and this is not the first time it's happening with the Church of England. It's happened before, and people seem to have not learned their lesson, including one of them. I think his last name was something, Bishop Ball, whatever his name was, who was a bestie of King Charles, who was involved in all of these sexual allegations, and Prince Charles basically convinced whomever to not do what they need to do to get rid of him until finally, I guess, somebody stepped up and did something and got rid of him. However that ended, I don't know. I never really looked into it, but I knew that was an issue. Same issue here. Breaking. Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, head of the Church of England, resigns over his handling of serial sexual abuse at Christian summer camps. And you can just only imagine, because those summer camps are children. And it's just the same pattern over and over. And these bishops and priests who are head over these things just do not do what they need to do. They don't never, it's like, look, how many of these are going to have to happen for y'all to step up in the moment you hear this and do something? And you always come back to this, and it's like nobody seems to learn. So anyways, he has now resigned, and this was actually a long statement he made, about resigning. And this is a part of it. You can always go back. I'll put a link in our community page. You can read the whole statement if you like. It says, having sought the gracious permission of His Majesty the King, I have decided to resign as Archbishop of Canterbury. The Making Review has exposed a long-maintained conspiracy of silence about the heinous abuses of John Smith. When I was informed in 2013 and told that the police had been notified, I believed wrongly that an appropriate resolution would follow. It is very clear that I must take personal and institutional responsibility for the long and re-traumatizing period between 2013 and 2024. It is my duty to honor my constitutional and church responsibilities, so exact timing will be decided once a review of the necessary obligation has been completed, including those in England and in the Anglican Communion. I hope this decision makes clear how seriously the Church of England understands the need for change and for our profound commitment to creating a safer church. As I step down, I do so in sorrow with all victims and survivors of abuse. The last few days, I've renewed my long-felt and profound sense of shame at the historic safeguarding failures of the Church of England. For nearly 12 years, I have struggled to introduce improvements. It is for others to judge what has been done. So he's saying I tried to do stuff, but again, this whole thing I did years ago when I even think when Pamela and I were doing this podcast, we went through a whole thing with the Church of England, and when the Queen was the head of the church, because when she was alive, she's the head, and now that she's gone, King Charles is the head of the church. And so we did this whole episode on what the failures of the monarchy. And here we are again in the same situation. The same thing the Queen did not take care of this. They did not fire the priests and basically hold them to account. It's literally the same thing we're seeing here again. And so some of this has to rest on the head of the church, which is King Charles. Some of this has to, from the Queen down to King Charles. They are all part of this. They're all head of, and people will be like, oh, it's just a ceremonial. Nonsense. I see this the same way how King Charles, the kind of power and control they have over the government is the same one they have here. And so some of this rests on the monarchy. And so, yeah, Justin Welby should not be there in the first place. And of course, as I suspected when this first was announced earlier today, they are going to attach this to Harry and Meghan. And so the reporting, don't be shocked because it's already started. Priest who married Harry and Meghan resigns over sexual abuse, whatever. It's already started. So never mind that never mind his relationship with King Charles and all the others. Never mind all of the stuff he's done. They will attack because, again, hiding behind Harry and Meghan. It's just, yeah. Don't be shocked when you see it because it's already started. And the thing with Justin Welby, I did, when part of talking about Palestine, I did a whole thing on Justin Welby. And I've always felt like Justin Welby had no reason to be where he is because of some of the decisions that he's made. This was one of the most egregious things that I'd seen. There's a pastor and who leads a church in Palestine, and I'm going to read this so you can see. And Justin Welby refused to meet with that. Well, let me just read it. Pastor says Welby would not meet him if he spoke of Palestine rally with Corbyn. Archbishop said he would not meet Bethlehem Lutheran Munther Isaac, that's Dr. Munther Isaac, if he shared a platform with former Labour leader Isaac said. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, cancelled plans to meet with Bethlehem-based Lutheran pastor Munther Isaac, saying he could not meet with him if he shared a platform with former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn at a pro-Palestinian rally, the pastor said. Isaac, who is the pastor of the Christmas Evangelical Lutheran Church in Bethlehem. I mean, the man is preaching in a place where Jesus was literally born there. I know you can't make this stuff up. Who had been highly critical of Israel in Gaza, saw his Christmas sermon go viral when he said if Jesus Christ was born today, he would have been under rubble, and that is a fact. He spoke at a Palestinian Solidarity Campaign rally in the weekend where Corbyn was also the speaker, after being invited by the Palestinian ambassador to the UK, Hazam Zamlet. Lambeth Palace, which is where Justin Welby, that's his the church, they call it Lambeth Palace, said it did not comment on private meetings. The Archbishop is concerned about the huge increase of anti-Semitism since October in the UK, and it is believed he feared it would have caused a huge problem for the Jewish community if the two were to meet. Never mind, it's Israel that's destroying Gaza, including now this minister's church. But it's all about anti-Semitism. Oh, we have to protect the Jews. Never mind the Arabs who are being killed and destroyed by them. This minister, who is supposedly a Christian, could not meet with a fellow Christian minister because he's worried and concerned about anti-Semitism against the Jews. Never mind the anti-Arab hate against Palestinians. It boggles the mind. And this is what Pastor Munther Isaac said. He said, it is so painful for us to see the Christian church turn a blind eye to what is happening, offering words of concern and compassion, but for so long they have been silent in the face of obvious war crimes. Churches seem paralyzed, and they seem willing to sacrifice Christian presence in Palestine for the sake of avoiding controversy and criticizing Israel. I have had so many difficult conversations with church leaders, and I dare say, not just Justin Welby, American ministers are the same. They have been silent. They have been silent. In spite of all of this atrocity, they have been silent. And so this article, Pastor Isaac went on, and it talked a lot about different things, about just how painful it is, not just to watch them turn a blind eye, but just some of them say words and do nothing. It's just words, and it just, so it's really a powerful article that, this interview he did with The Guardian. And so when this was like, this came out in the beginning of February, and then a week later, Justin Welby, after he was called out for this, actually, I forgot to put The Guardian, their logo there. A week later, he expressed his regret. Justin Welby expresses deep regret at the refusal to meet Palestinian pastor. Archbishop of Canterbury apologized to Reverend Munther Isaac and said he will meet him next week in the U-turn. It'd be interesting to see how that went off. Justin Welby said on Thursday, recently I declined to meet with Reverend Munther Isaac during his UK visit. I apologized for and deeply regret this decision and the hurt and anger and confusion it caused. I was wrong not to meet with my brother in Christ from the Holy Land, especially at this time of profound suffering for the Palestinian Christian brothers and sisters. I look forward to speaking and praying with him next week. Now, don't know if that actually went on, because Dr. Munther was so disgusted by that whole thing. I don't even, maybe he forgave, and I don't know if he would forget, but he was so disgusted and so hurt, as he should be, It was so despicable what he did and who he prioritized. He had no, as you can see him up there with Netanyahu, he had no problems meeting with Netanyahu. And I don't know whether this was before or after this situation. I'm assuming may have been before this meeting should have happened with him and Dr. Isaac. But the fact that he was he's so there for Israel, which is fine. Be there for Israel. But the fact that you cannot meet with your supposed brother in Christ, who literally is preaching at the place in Bethlehem where you call your savior supposedly from, and you can't meet him because why exactly? I was so disgusted when I saw this. And I'm like, dude. And one cannot forget, this is the same Archbishop of Canterbury who was like, the Queen tried to use to make people, forgive Prince Andrew. Now, I'm all for forgiveness if someone asks for forgiveness, right? The Queen tried to use him to sort of get Andrew back into royal life and get, so he tried to use, and basically not even just tried, Justin Welby was right there doing it, claiming that, Andrew wants to make amends, that he should be forgiven and all this nonsense. And I'm like, again, I'm all for forgiveness, but the person you're talking about never asked for forgiveness. Not only did he never ask for forgiveness, he claimed to not even have ever met the person he's supposed to have done stuff to. So what exactly are you asking people to forgive exactly? This man allowed the royal family to just use him like that. Not only that, this is the same Justin Welby who last year, remember the coronation, when they were like, oh, the nation should be pledging allegiance to the king. He is the one that came up with that nonsense. And everybody's like, no. And then they had to change it. And it's like, oh, it's only if you want to. And basically only William did. But he's the one. This is supposed to be a minister who you're sitting there asking people. I'm like, aren't you a minister? Shouldn't that just be to God? Why are you asking people to be going to pledge allegiance to some person? And on top of that, an unelected person on top of all of that. Same Justin Welby. I've always been like, Justin Welby has no business having the position that he had. No business. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of the mess that Justin Welby has been a part of. And so for me, when I heard this, this was the least surprising thing to me. It's like, this man had no business being the Archbishop of Canterbury. Not that, honestly, that whole thing needs to go away, frankly, because this position is even, just the situation with Israel and the situation with the royal family pledging allegiance. Justin Welby's, his devotion is to power. His devotion is to those who are in power. That's who his allegiance is. Not to God and the church. It is to power. They could basically get him to do anything. And this is why the situation is there. This is the reason why the Queen could have used him to try to, get Andrew back into the good graces of people and all of that. If people hadn't been like, no, this would have been, Justin Welby would have been all in. And if you notice when, he was, especially the thing with Andrew, and he's like trying to get people to forgive Andrew, someone who never asked for forgiveness in the first place. When people were like, no, and came back at him, he started backpedaling. Well, that's not what I meant. And whatever. It's just like, this man has it doesn't seem like he has any kind of biblical conviction that would make it okay that he has this sort of position. If you are in power, like the royals or like the government, all his decisions seem to be, well, what the government wants and what the royals want. And whomever else is in charge will go there. That's where his allegiance is. And so it just, for me, this was like, oh, of course. Absolutely, of course. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. Or if he was there, he should have been let go a long time ago. So this was the least surprising thing to me. So yeah, unbelievable. This nonsense. Like, dude, just leave. And we talked about this the other day. So Kate Cancer fake allegations force Palace media cleanup. We talked about this the other day. Remember this? Let's play this little clip from, I think this would have been Rihanna and Sky, and the Daily Beast report on this today. But a part of their reporting is not true, because they're claiming that this whole thing has started up again because someone sort of found an old clip of Rihanna and Sky talking about this. But from this clip,
Prince William has given an
we're
update
talking
on
about
the
it was
Princess
new.
of
This
Wales' health.
this
Kate
reporter was
revealed
talking
in
about
September
William
she had
going
completed
to
chemotherapy
Earthshot
after the discovery of
a week
cells
ago.
in March. The prince was speaking ahead.
Let's start this again. Sorry. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Get back to it. Okay, here we go.
Prince William has given an update on the Princess of Wales's health. Kate revealed in September she had completed chemotherapy after the discovery of precancerous cells in March. The prince was speaking ahead of tonight's Earthshot Prize Award in Cape Town.
Right. This was a new clip. So this article by from the Daily Beast today, talk from Tom, whatever his last name is, talking about this. He is referring in his article basically saying that this clip that is just sort of resurfaced is an old clip that's going around. But as you can hear from that video, this report was from a week ago when William was in Cape Town, where she mentioned that Kate been diagnosed with precancerous cells. And so this is what Daily Beast says: Kate's cancer fakery allegations force Palace media cleanup. A simple error, or a deliberate hint in an old Sky News story that was finally been altered, set the cat among the pigeons. And these are just a couple of clips from the article. It says the extraordinary rumor that Kate Middleton never had cancer, which went viral over the weekend over an old report, resurfaced saying the princess had been afflicted by precancerous cells, can arguably be traced back to a deliberately opaque communication policy by her and her office, which is very true. As we said, the royal family, they live in a space of vagueness. They don't clarify anything, so anybody can go in there and they can make up whatever they want to about it, and then they could come out with plausible deniability with like, well, I didn't actually say that. So a little bit more of the article says the Daily Beast understands that reputable journalists contacted Kensington Palace last week and asked them about the Sky News report, but it went unchanged until Tuesday, today, when it was finally amended by Sky to remove the reference to precancerous cells. Mills has not responded to requests for comment, and the palace has told the Daily Beast that it won't be commenting, with sources saying the phrase precancerous cells was never used by them. Of course, plausible deniability. The specific formulation of words went largely unnoticed at the time amid relief at Kate's announcement that she was cancer-free. Intriguingly, her office said at the time that the press shouldn't use the phrase cancer-free, although Kate did, suggesting another significant disconnect between the press office and its principal figures. And again, the royal family operate in that space, that gray area of, is it true, is it not? Is it true, is it not? And because you have quote unquote journalists or supposed journalists that do not press them for facts, that they allow this, they don't know the truth and they just sort of make stuff up around it, and they just allow this kind of thing to keep going on. And I don't know why they don't demand facts from the royal family. Like, no, we're not going to run this story until we get absolute facts from you, and we're not going to publish whatever it is you want us to publish unless we have the truth, and we need specifics. but none of them do. And that's, again, how tabloids operate. They want to just put a little bit of the truth in there that could be true, or because then it gets people talking, and it gets more and more people clicking, wondering if it's the truth, wondering if it's a lie, and this whole thing. That's the space that the royal family always operated. And I think they deliberately do it because, then they don't ever have to speak the truth. And then when push comes to shove, they could come back and claim plausible deniability. The fact of the matter is, you know where I stand on this issue. And I'm, even though the Daily Beast and I don't see anybody else has picked it up so far, but it's very, very, very much trending. Well, I don't know if it's trending, but it's definitely been a very popular conversation on X about this. And it's like, I don't understand something like this and something this serious. I don't understand why these journalists allow Kensington Palace to get away with this. It's time somebody be like, look, I'm going to print that this is fake until you tell me otherwise. So they see the seriousness of this. Because for her to get away with something that most likely is, as they said, probably precancerous cells, and then to be claiming that you have cancer when so many people are suffering horrendously because of it is criminal. It is utterly criminal. There's nothing Kate Middleton has done that shows that any way, shape, or form that this is her experience. Nothing. And so I don't understand. So hopefully more people pick this up, more news outlets pick this up and press it and press it and press the royal family to press Kensington Palace and her to speak the truth. And I will always remember when she did this video, this fake AI looking video that, again, the BBC never confirmed who are the producers that actually produced this video from the BBC. One of the things that came out of that video is that William wasn't there. And I believe with the royal family, how they protect William, them probably knowing it's like, if push comes to shove and this stuff get out, we want to make sure and protect William. We don't want William anywhere near this. Because I always wondered why, if I'm a husband or a partner in somebody's life, and they're going to be telling the world about something this tragic and personal and terrifying, why would I leave them to do that stuff by themselves? Why would I not be there to, why? Who would do that? And yet this is what they did. And so I hope more and more people keep pressing that this does not go away, that the truth comes out from this, because this is deplorable. This whole thing that there even is a question about this is deplorable. Again, with so many people suffering. I mean, my friend, her sister not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, lost her sister. Your sister just was buried on Sunday. With so many people in our community here, we have Church Nelly and others who are suffering massively from this. And it's just so deplorable that this is even left out there as a question. It is utterly deplorable and despicable. And so I just hope people would keep pushing until the absolute truth comes out on this, because nobody in the royal family should get away with this. If never mind. Let me just go into the chat before I just really lose it on this. So yeah. Anyways, let's what do you guys are saying in the chat? TMCD says, when I think of what my mom went through with cancer and these vile people make a mockery of it, it disgusts me so much. Exactly. I'm so sorry about your mom, TMCD. I'm so sorry. Nobody should have to this be even something people think about. It's just unbelievable. Karen Warner says the bishop is the one trying to say that Meghan was lying when she said on Oprah that she and Harry had already exchanged vows in the presence of the priest in their garden. Yeah, he could have cleared that up. He could have totally cleared that up. But I think because of his devotion to the royals, if he cleared that up, he didn't want I mean, yeah. Justin Welby just, and of course, he was saying, well, that because that would be, breaching their privacy or breaching the relationship between a priest. You can't really talk about stuff like that. But the way in which he said those things made it seem like Meghan and Harry were lying, and people picked up on that, and he could have clarified that, and he didn't. And so, yeah, it just, but again, the man was devoted to the royals. And that's the thing with people like him. That's why I never thought it was a right that he had that role, because his devotion and his loyalty is to power. It's to the power in the UK, whether it's the government or the royals. And that's where his allegiance is. So, and I don't expect anything different from whoever it is going to take that job. So, yeah. Lorna says, a question: when you elect a person that is a sheep to head your church and you see him walking off a cliff, do you follow? As a member of the Church of England, I don't think so. There you go. Thank you, Lorna. Nas says, 2 days in a row catching pedal. Oh, oh, I'm so happy you're here. I'm happy you're here, Nash. I know it's like, yeah, with my crazy schedule, these impromptu things is like in the moment, it's like, let's just go do it now. So yes, but thank you for coming and just hanging out with me for a bit. So I appreciate that. So yeah. Angelina says, you either do or you don't. They will turn themselves into pretzel to brand the truth for these people. Shameful. It is shameful. It is utterly shameful. Vinny says, remember when Justin tried to rehabilitate Prince Andrew's reputation and beg forgiveness for Andrew? Yes, exactly what we were just talking about. Welby has more politicians and less shepherd. Made a lot of bad decisions. Yes. And again, even with that Prince Andrew stuff, Prince Andrew never asked for forgiveness. Andrew never admitted anything. In fact, Andrew said he never met the person he supposedly have abused. And he's alleged to have abused. He claimed he never met the person. So what are people forgiving? The person who you want people to forgive never admitted to anything, never confessed anything or asked even for forgiveness. So what would people be forgiving exactly? Nonsense. Craziness. Jaron says, Petal, we all know she didn't have cancer and the palace can't clean this up. That's what I always believe. I don't doubt something happened to her, but I don't think it's this. So yeah, until they come clean, this will always hang over their heads. Terry says, Welby's allegiance is to Charles. That is why he is the fall guy. Very much so. Oh, sorry, Jaron. I just looked at that. Thank you so much. Yep. Let's see. Lorna says, interesting fact. The Church of England has 26 seats in the House of Lords. Oh, Lord. The UK Parliament are called the Lords Spiritual. Oh, Jesus. Like, never mind. Unbelievable. A lot of this stuff with the church and stuff, for me, I always believe that whether it's the Church of England, whatever, is that they are just there to give cover to evil people in politics or whatever these powerful people are. They can always hide behind religion. And that's what it seemed to me. It's not there about God or Jesus. It's there to give these powerful people a place to hide, behind. It's just, unbelievable. And then he says, Welby's ignominious and shameful departure benefits his corruption, willful blindness, and bootlicking of the royal family and the establishment. It would be hard to find a less noble and uncaring shepherd. Wow. Powerful there, Vinny. Thank you. Chody says, this is exactly the coalition between institution and establishment, yet the royals lie about being apolitical. If anybody believes the royal family is apolitical, I'm like, really? I would hope in the year 2024, there is nobody alive that believe that nonsense. I really would hope so. because for a while there, they had this nonsense. I mean, even I remember it once, even Omid wrote something. I was like, dude, stop, please. That is a lie. You know it's a lie. Stop that nonsense about the royal family not being political or can't get into politics. I mean, I would hope nobody is that stupid, but you just never know. TMCD said, Marjorie, maybe he's incandescent with rage at the moment. I'm assuming the other brother. Marjorie, I love it. I love it when we lean into our petty. She's like, I just got on. Has anybody made a welfare check to Slumlord Willie? I think somebody needs to do a welfare check on that one. You know, those hands are gripping and those bulging veins in his head. It's like, I'm like, I just, Karen Warner said the bishop saying he leave because he thought it was being taken care of. How can he think that? Meghan had to take act after they told her father's situation had been taken care of, and it wasn't. I'm not sure exactly I understand what you mean, but the first part definitely with Justin Welby saying that he thought the police would take care of it and all. It's all about pushing off blame from himself. You are the head of church. You need to make sure. You can't be expecting, especially the Metropolitan Police. We've talked at length about the Metropolitan Police with this same situation, be it whether it's what's alleged against Dan Wooten or Prince Andrew, what's his name, Schofield guy, the other dude from BBC. We've talked at length about the Metropolitan Police complicity in all of this stuff and how these rich, powerful white men, when they're in this situation, the Metropolitan Police turn a blind eye in all of these situations. And some of them get a slap on the wrist. Some of them get nothing. It's like, nothing to say here. Move along. So for you to know what the Metropolitan Police is and then you expect them to take care of it and you don't do anything, and it's like, oh, I thought the police was going to take care of it. Really? Are you talking about the same Metropolitan Police that I'm looking at? And I've only started looking at them. Surely Justin Welby knows better. Surely he knows with the Church of England, this is not the first time, second time, third time. Surely he knows better. So to come up again with this excuse, thank you, Karen, like, oh, I thought they were going to take care of it. Come on, dude, really? Really? Denise says, Bishop Michael Curry married Harry and Meghan. Definitely. He was definitely the priest, but of course, Justin Welby was the lead minister of that, of the situation. So of course, yeah. Didn't he marry Beatrice too? I think so. I wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing with Beatrice, and her husband, but I'm assuming. Lorna said Justin Welby is full of crap. He never enforced the agreement that Charles made with the church at the time of his divorce, that Camilla would never be queen. Oh, I didn't even realize he was part of that whole mess. I didn't realize that. But again, if you are friends or that with Charles does not allow people who would go against him anywhere around him. Anyone who is close to King Charles, is a yes person. Anyone who is that, he's a yes. There are yes people. So if he has any close relationship with Charles, he would do exactly what King Charles wanted him to do. Hence the, pledge allegiance to the king nonsense. And if people hadn't stepped in and be like, no, they'd all be pledging allegiance to the king on his coronation. Unbelievable. Karen says, how do I know I was going to hear you today? Oh, with this breaking story with Archbishop Mess, I'd be on that. Because again, we talked about this before. We talked about Justin Welby before with this mess that he's and again, I don't know how these people last this long with all that mess around them. I don't know how they last this long in these positions. Like, Again, the apathy in the UK is unreal to me when it comes to these people in power. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Denise says, wasn't he the priest who lied on Meghan regarding the wedding vows? He didn't. Well, he omit. Well, you can call it lie. It's like lie by omission. He didn't say she was lying or anything, but he failed to clarify, so people thought she lied. So he failed to clarify the thing, and he put again. Whether it's Justin Welby or the royal family, they operate in this vague space that they leave room for people to make whatever assumptions they make. And when it comes to anything with Meghan and Harry, he knows that whether it's the press or the people that hate them, they will make the negative assumption. And he left it out there so that people would make those assumptions when he could have just cleared it up. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, wow. Chef Sandy Love, thank you so much. 18 months of supporting this channel. Thank you for being a part of the Two Cents Crew. He says, hello, Pedal and all squatties communities. Nice to be on a live chat. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so very much. And thank you so much for your support. My goodness. Thank you to all of you in a part of the Two Cents Crew just supporting this channel. Huge thanks. So, yes. Let's see. Karen says the doctors need to come out and speak because they are encouraging this nonsense and have them make a mockery of real doctors saving lives in the medical community. I don't think they can because, again, that privacy thing, I don't think, unless she gives them permission to speak up about this, I mean, I don't think that would be on them. I would hate to put doctors in that position. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Karen, but yeah, I think you'd hate for doctors to be in that position, and then I don't think they can, because again, that privacy something thing, Let's see. Joan is saying perhaps she had a hysterectomy. Don't know. I know in December there was this big thing that Kate was, it looked like an emergency thing with these emergency vehicles rushing out of wherever they go for Christmas, and not Sandringham. Yeah, it's Sandringham for Christmas. Yeah. And there was a big thing. So the belief is something happened at Sandringham over the Christmas holiday. Now, there is no confirmation that it's her that that whole thing was about, but it's sort of in that space where it could have been something with her, which is what is believed, and people believe that that's when whatever surgery she is, whatever it is, happened with her of the holidays. But the thing that everybody knows is that they are not honest with what happened, that they're lying, and that is why this whole mess has happened, is that there are lies that's being told, and so nobody believes anything that they're saying. So yeah, and because they're not clarifying, and because the press is not pressing them and like, look, I'm not going to do any whatever it is you want, any puff piece on you until you tell the truth. And because they're not pressing them in that way and holding their feet to the fire, they just feel like, well, I don't have to say anything. So yeah, very interesting why they would allow that to happen, but that's what they have allowed. So yeah. Let's see, a couple more before we end. Karen says they got the whole world involved in this farce about Kate and her cancer to try to rehabilitate her relevancy, and she had a hysterectomy. Oh, first I'm hearing about that one. And it was hard for her because she can't have any children. Huh. Very interesting. That's the first I'm hearing about that. So I don't know where this one came from. Maybe, I don't know if you have a source for this information. This is the first I'm hearing about this one. So thanks for the info, Karen. You have to look up for sources on that one. So yeah. Let's see. Lorna says the agreement was made with the former Archbishop of Canterbury. Charles couldn't get married in the church, and he was divorced. and he was divorced. They didn't want two divorcees leading the church. No queen title. Oh, okay. I didn't really know any of that stuff. So thank you so much, Lorna, for that information. Very interesting. Well, that's what they got. Two divorcees leading the church. Look, whatever it is, two divorcees or not, neither of these people, I mean, just the idea of anybody from the royal family leading a church is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. And whether it's the Queen or Charles, I mean, these two people was people who are robbing people blind, lying. I mean, the things that the royal family has been engaged in, again, to have these, I feel the same way about them leading the church as them leading the Commonwealth. These people should have nothing to do with leading any of this stuff, but yet for some reason they are leading these institutions that influences so many people, and it's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. And it's so funny because now William, whenever Charles passes on, and if William takes his place, William, somebody who has no interest in church or spirituality or any of that stuff, he has no interest, is supposedly going to be the head of a church, something he's no interest in. And it's just like, people, come on, really? And so, yeah, that's kind of where they are with that. Oh, amazing. But anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Let me see. Yep, that's it. Thank you so much, Lydia, who I didn't see today, but Church Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you all who support the channel on a monthly basis as part of the 2 Cents Crew. I appreciate your support in every way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So anyway, guys, I will see you all mañana, and have a fantastic, fantastic day. Bye, everybody.